After a night of celebration, both on the field and off, all of Tampa Bay is taking a victory lap right along with the Buccaneers.
This team found a way when it mattered most. It's an amazing team, amazing group of guys, and I'm very blessed to be a part of it.
Truly, this was our Super Bowl, and the excitement isn't over yet.
And very, very, very proud of our Tampa Bay Buccaneers for bringing it home, because now we are Title Town.
Our special coverage on Tampa Bay's big game continues with the city's plans to honor the Bucs and the impact this win could make on our community for years to come.
Take a live look at Raymond James Stadium right now. A very different sight than last night when seemingly the entire Bay Area raised its voices to cheer for the Bucs, your Super Bowl champs. And now that the dust has settled on a historic night, we're looking ahead to what's next for the team and what's next for Tampa Bay. Hello and welcome to our continuing coverage of Tampa Bay's big game. I'm Jamison Euler.
And I'm Wendy Ryan. Thank you for joining us. We're live right across the street from Raymond James Stadium above our studios, where we witnessed all the excitement for ourselves just last night. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers making history as the first team to play the Super Bowl in their home stadium and win it all.
Yeah, but this big moment goes beyond sports, with Tampa truly rising to the occasion as host city in the middle of a pandemic.
Our team of reporters working throughout the weekend, and they're standing by again right now to bring you every angle of this big win. Over the next hour, you'll hear about the moments that mattered the most for the big game and the celebrations in store for the Super Bowl champs. Plus, we're talking to Bucs fans who watched history unfold at Ray J last night. But we begin with the Buccaneers themselves, still really taking it all in. Even MVP Tom Brady, who's done it 6 times before.
Yeah, a lot of those guys are getting some sleep right now, I bet. Kyle Berger and Kevin Lewis joins us now with more from Brady and head coach Bruce Arians. And guys, they looked fresh at their news conference this morning.
Yeah, but I think we're all kind of functioning on a very little sleep right now. Both Arians and Brady, they're still basking in the glow of winning Super Bowl 55 last night. A season that started with those secret practices at Berkeley Prep ends with a championship over at Raymond James Stadium.
Yeah, Brady said it was a little bit like football summer camp, where all you do is show up and play football with your buddies, except this year that camp was a little bit shorter, and it was a whole new set of buddies, some that Brady hasn't even spoken to in person in the same room yet at the facility due to physical distancing. Now, despite all the hurdles of the 2020-21 season, Brady found the silver lining of only having to focus on football.
With the coronavirus situation and all the protocols, it was really like football for junkies, you know? There was not really a lot of other things to do other than show up to work and play football. There was, normally there's a lot of other things that go along with playing football. So if you love football, this was the year to be a player in the NFL, because that's all it was.
Head coach Bruce Arians wins his first Super Bowl title as a head coach, becoming the oldest coach to win a Super Bowl at 68 years old. Arians says he's coming back next season to go for 2, with Tom Brady's leadership and talent right by his side.
This was a very, very talented football team last year, but we really didn't know how to win. When you bring a winner in and he's running the ship, it makes a total difference in your locker room. Every time we step out on the field, it permeated through our whole locker room, his belief that we're going to do this, and knowing that he'd been there and done it, our guys believed it.
And to help make his teammates believe it, Leonard Fournette told us last night that Brady would text his teammates throughout the week that we will win, just to hammer it home that, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, blow it up.
Right before Brady went to bed, he would text all of his teammates, we will win, get that in their head and make them believe that they could beat the Chiefs last night. And, man, they did it. Jamison?
Well, if Tom Brady's texting that to me, I'm going to believe it too. It really can't be overstated how much of an accomplishment it was for this team to come together the way that it did during a pandemic.
Yeah, when they had the practices at Berkeley Prep, it was because all the teams around the league really didn't know what to do or what they could do. They had to stay safe because they knew there'd be helicopters in the air watching what they were doing. And then they had the trailer set up here at the Advent Health Facility to test everybody. And then when you get in, and the NFL got all 269 games in. So there were question marks all the way, but the Bucs didn't have any major COVID concerns. Every game on the schedule in the NFL got in this season. And it's really an accomplishment that they got them all played, because earlier this spring and summer, that might have been a thing that they shortened or even canceled the season.
Right, yeah, and back in June when we had those Berkeley Prep practices, practices, that's when it really felt for real that Tom Brady was the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, wearing the creamsicle practice jersey. So that the real feeling, they're still keeping safe, about 10 guys there to keep everything socially distanced as best as possible.
You see Mike Evans out there, Gronk coming out, then you knew, and people said, oh, they might win the Super Bowl in their hometown, ha ha ha, and then all of a sudden there was confetti and fireworks last night.
Joke's on us.
That's right. Pretty good joke, I must say.
Yeah, really unbelievable. This team was drawn up in paper in the offseason, no OTAs, no preseason game, and yet a Super Bowl championship at the end of the year. All right, thanks, guys. And with that championship comes a celebration.
That's right. ABC Action News reporter J.J. Burton is pressing leaders about their plans, and he has a sneak peek at what we can expect in the coming days.
The mayor says that this is a huge win and definitely wants everyone to be a part of this celebration.
We can't have a historical event of this significance in our community and not celebrate.
Safety is the main priority, and since we're still dealing with COVID-19, Mayor Castor says our celebration won't be as huge as she'd like it to be. But she says, though, it will still be fun and still be a great celebration worthy of a Super Bowl title.
Outdoors, that decreases the risk of spread, so, that's a check right there. And then the mask mandates, all of the steps that we can take. But we're looking at what will be the best option to allow the most individuals to participate in the celebration and do it safely.
And we have some experience with this. You may remember back in September when the Stanley Cup winners came back and we had a boat parade for them.
Whenever the Stanley Cup comes in danger of falling in the river, you've done a unique celebration.
The Lightning and the city worked together to put on this event, and they had to make sure that it was COVID-19 safe. All the fans watching from the Riverwalk had to be socially distanced as well as wearing masks. Remember, we got two titles here, the Lightning and the Bucks, two big teams. So when you go out there to celebrate, whatever the celebration will be, remember to have on your pride and be happy. And when someone asks you about the Bucks or they ask you about Tampa Bay, tell them we a title city, baby. Reporting in Tampa, J.J. Burton, ABC Action News.
Well said. Thank you, JJ. Again, no word yet on when the city will get to celebrate the Bucks, but let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips and get an idea. Den, if it happens this week, will the weather get in the way? How's it looking?
Don't think so, Wendy. It's going to be warm. It's going to be muggy. And if the parade were earlier in the day, maybe lunchtime on, there could be some lingering fog. But early morning, over the next several mornings, it will be very, very foggy, but because it's so warm and humid. So let's say whatever's going on, whether it's a boat parade or any other kind of celebration, the weather will be just fine in the afternoon into the early evening hours, as we will be very warm, very muggy, and rain chances remain extremely low, at least until Saturday or into Sunday. So again, spelling out for you with Florida's most accurate 7-day, look at those temperatures, upper 70s to the lower 80s right onto the rest of the work week. So I think the weather will be just great for the celebration, unless they were to hold it this weekend. And at that point, yes, there will be some rain back in the forecast.
All right, thanks, Dan. Meanwhile, Jameson and I were live with you just last night, just minutes after the Bucs won the Super Bowl. And as you can see, fans did not hold back on their excitement or their team spirit. Celebrations spilled out onto the streets, lasting well into the morning hours.
We did see many crowds in downtown and South Tampa without masks, which were supposed to be required in those busy Super Bowl event zones. That mask order, though, lasts through at least Saturday, just in case there is a celebration. We also spoke with fans last night who were following the rules.
It's been a long time since the Bucs were in the Super Bowl even, and I think that Tampa is a really deserving city. I think we've worked hard, and it's a great day to be in Tampa Bay, right?
It certainly is, and tonight their voices may be a little hoarse, but they're no doubt that their spirits are high today.
Absolutely. We're catching up with Bucs fans lucky enough to be inside Raymond James Stadium to witness history as the Bucs won Super Bowl 55. ABC Action News reporter Sarah Hollenbeck joins us now live. And Sarah, the families you met shared some magical moments, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, Wendy. We all have those memories that we hold so dear that we can remember every last detail of what happened and where we are. And Bucs fans tell me that is exactly how they will remember last night's victory. It's a moment Larry Gasparino has waited his whole life for. The Bucs clinching the Super Bowl and on home turf.
My wife kept on telling me, honey, take it easy, you're going to have a heart attack.
This year, the NFL honored Gasparino as the Bucs Fan of the Year. Payback for years of loyalty, even when rooting for the team came with a whole lot of heartbreak.
I tell people it's just like maybe another child, another son. If he's doing bad for years in school, I don't kick him out of the house. I keep on rooting him on and trying to get him to do better, and we did it this time.
Matt and Tim Selby also in the stands. The dad and son duo making good on a promise they made 18 years ago, that if the Bucs ever made it back to the biggest game of the season, they would be there.
Best feeling ever to be able to go with your son and there. And I even put a picture of my grandson in one of the seats, and we took a picture of that too. So he got to go to his first Super Bowl, and he's only 6 months old.
Matt Selby bringing along this sign honoring his friend John, a huge Bucs fan who died at just 30 years old from colon cancer.
He would have lost his mind if he found out, number one, that we got Tom Brady here, and then number two, that we won the Super Bowl. So I can only imagine what the party was like up in heaven.
Even surrounded by cardboard cutouts and in a year unlike any other, for Bucs fans, this is the ultimate bliss. And now, of course, the pressure is on for the Bucs to run it back, and these fans tell me that they will definitely hold the team to that. Reporting live outside of Raymond James Stadium, I'm Sarah Hollenbeck, ABC Action News.
Sarah, thank you. All the celebrations we saw last night meant a big cleanup across the city today.
Yeah, the team effort to get things back to normal, and it could take weeks. And the Super Bowl is one of those events that has no rival. Now this big weekend is helping businesses turn things around after a difficult year.